Hello, everyone. Oh, it's pretty big in here. Okay, it's a green day today, and I think I'm welcome in the midst of green people. My name is Nenna Wakama, and for the few minutes here, I'll be speaking to you about a web for everyone. Normally, I introduce myself as Nenna from the internet. If you check on Google, you're going to see that, and there's a reason for that. The reason is that who I am today was because I got connected to the internet. And so I'd like to speak to all of you wonderful people about a World Wide Web that is for everyone. I am from the World Wide Web Foundation, which is that organization started by Sir Tim Berners-Lee, who is the inventor of the World Wide Web. I'd like to share, is this going? Where should I point it? Okay, I'd like to share a story of two friends. The one on the left is Melissa and Cizanelle. They are both 10 years old, young girls in South Africa, in Johannesburg. They go to school, and after school, they go to a community center. And at the community center, they get online. They get ideas. They get inspiration. They get connections. They get resources. And these two little girls, how many of you have children? How many of you have young girls? How many of you have seen any young girl? How many of you know what interests a young girl? These are the people looking for makeup, body care, and they are creating one from the ideas they are getting on the web. They're like, we need to finish school fast because we are going marketing. We are going to touch the world. We are going to do something good. That is their teacher. They are building knowledge for these young girls. They are also building future workers. They are also building wealth and citizenship. That is what we do with the World Wide Web. I love the session that just finished because they were talking about remote work. How many of you were born before the pandemic? So there are no 2-year-olds here. How many of you worked online? How many of you did remote work? Welcome to my world. I've been working online for 17 years, so you've now migrated. Welcome on board. Welcome on board a world that is powered by technology, humanity powered by the World Wide Web. When Sir Tim Berners-Lee created it, he did not want to patent it. He believed, and I believe that's why you're here, that if humanity is given the right technology, we will use it for the better. We will use it to make ourselves better. We will use it to make our environment better. And that's the challenge I've come with today. This is what the girl says. If you don't know something, you just keep quiet. And then, like myself, like these girls, you realize you know things. You have things to talk about. You have things to say. And that builds confidence. That's what they find online. The World Wide Web is for everyone. It is for people north, south, center. It is for people of every tribe and tongue. It is for everyone who was born before pandemic and those who will come after the pandemic. And that is why I'd like to share one of the visions that we have, which is of the contract for the web, for human development. It is still the reason why it was created. But we're looking at joint responsibility because the UN and member states and stakeholders everywhere are asking themselves, how can we use technology for humanity? And I think that's why we are here. The future of humanity will not be the same without the World Wide Web. And that calls for responsibility. The same responsibility we are talking about in our environment is the same digital environment responsibility. You get that from me. So we need the green responsibility and we need the web responsibility. And I'd like to plead for respect of rights. of dignity and justice, especially for women who come online, who face a number of abuse, violence. Journalists and women politicians face a lot of violence online. And if you're listening to me today, please check where you come from and stand up so that women journalists, women politicians are protected. For safety and security, that is why we adopted the contract for the web. This is an investment forum summit, and I'd like to leave a few thoughts with you. I was born in Nigeria, in the eastern part of Nigeria. When I was born, I wasn't given a name because in that time, they felt that young girls did not matter. But today, I'm standing here as a chief web advocate of the World Wide Web Foundation. The people who rejected me now want to be called by my name. I don't know where you come from, I don't know what you do on the World Wide Web, but I make a living from the World Wide Web. I make wealth from the World Wide Web. I teach, I work, I do banking, I do travel, I mentor people, I get connected to many people across the world. And that is why we need investment to ensure that everyone can get meaningful connectivity, connectivity that will allow them to Zoom online or use any other video conferencing. The education and digital literacy that will equip them to be able to not just benefit, but also co-create. The World Wide Web, we are not done creating it yet. So everyone who is here can always contribute. We're looking at policies for respect of rights, for dignity, and for justice. For those of us who don't come from the nice parts of the world, we still believe that all humans are born equal in dignity and in rights. And it is very important that technology for humanity will respect that. So when we do security and safety, it must be given, the same message must be given to those who are in California, in the Silicon Valley, who are here in New York, who are in Dubai, who are in Istanbul, those who are creating the technology, because we are moving from AI to the metaverse. And we're asking ourselves, will the same injustice, will the same divides that exist today, are we taking them online? That is the question that I want to leave with you. As I close, I want to challenge every one of you to take a stand that, first of all, everyone be connected. Secondly, those who are connected should not be disconnected. I will say that again, because we have seen gross human rights violations. For one thing or another, citizens are disconnected. As I speak today, one country has disconnected their citizens because they said something happened to a lady and we are not in agreement. They are seeking for justice, and the state is cutting off their internet. How do you reconcile that? So I've come here today to say no to internet disruptions. I've come to say that the World Wide Web is a priority. I've come to say that a web for everyone should be one of our priorities. I work with the Office of the UN Tech Envoy. I work in something called Digital Compact. It's going to be building this year and next year. And I'd like you to think that when you put in any word around the UN, you will remember that the web for everyone should be our priority. Shukran. Merci beaucoup. Gracias a todos.